Welcome to Right Gamer. My name's Kevin. I'm a creative, aspiring writer, and occasionally I give you my thoughts and opinions about the controversies in mostly the gaming industry, but I like to dabble into the other creative parts at some point. And I came across this video by Yang Yang. I wasn't fully prepared. Capcom is on a roll, break company record with their most successful year of game sales ever. To sum up the video, a link to it is in the description box below. Capcom selling a lot of good games. Capcom making a lot of good games. They're not doing a lot of shady stuff. Therefore, it equals good stuff. But I have a problem with this caveat. And as I was attempting to do a video response to Yang Yang, I sat there and I thought, well, technically what I'm talking about isn't even specific to Yang Yang. It's specific to every gamer out there. Because in one form or another, we have all made excuses for video game controversies that we have disagreed with. Whether we were somehow complacent in, say, the purchase of a microtransactions, which in my earlier gaming years, I purchased microtransactions, all right? And then I had a wake-up call from a friend. Why the fuck did you buy a brand new Mortal Kombat character, bro? That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You're a fucking idiot. Conversation I had with a friend. I'm talking about Mortal Kombat 9 and purchasing Scarlet. He was right. I was fucking dumb. That was fucking retarded. Dumbest. That is the garbagest. Any game. Well, see, that wasn't the only one where you had to purchase a character. I think they did it in 10 as well. Yeah, those games are objective garbage. You can make any excuse about the gameplay and the story. I don't care. That's the point of this video. You're just making excuses for shady bullshit. And, you know, I'm no saint. I did it. I've done it too. All right. Buy a collector's edition and the little slip that's in that case to get some kind of whatever. I didn't put it. Might as well. And then there came a point where I had an epiphany and I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense. As an artist, as a creator, one thing that I've tried to convey to my viewers is that I am an artist, I am a creator, and I do this because they're selling incomplete art, and I don't like that. I have a problem with that. I paid for this, so well, actually, the thinking was I didn't pay for it, even though technically I did pay for it, all right? Making excuses for it. And it came to the point, it's like, well, I either don't like DLC in any form because it creates an incomplete art as an artist, or am I just going to be one of those fucking hypocrites? So this came to where, like, I even went on my PlayStation and Xbox accounts, and I got rid of them. I got a whole new account, microtransaction free. No, here's a code, input it because you pre-ordered a game, or any of that bullshit. And, you know, I sit there and I wonder, I was like, why and when did I start using these dumbass things? And it's like, I couldn't really think about when I started using them. I just know that I started using them. I became complacent to the very bullshit that I didn't like. Willfully or unwillfully acknowledge that, hey, this is a thing. This is gaming today. And that's, I think, part of the biggest problem with every controversy in the video game industry is that gamers have gotten so used to it that at some point or another, they do something stupid like I did, you know, or which, you know, at the time would have made me a fucking hypocrite. Or they make excuses like, oh, well, it's just cosmetics. And that's the reason why the gaming industry is the way that it is today. You know? Because we as gamers have never actually fully committed to anything that we have talked about in any kind of gaming controversy. And in relation to Yang Yang's video, I don't give two fucking shits if Resident Evil 4 is a good game. I don't care if the gameplay is good. I don't care if the story is good. The company decided to add in microtransactions after the fact. That makes Capcom a garbage company. They are in the same boat with Electronic Arts. I do not hold these two companies on a different pedestal because one is darker than the other. That's just gamers making excuses for the shady, stupid shit that we don't agree with. Because look at it this way. If Electronic Arts had released Dead Space, which obviously they did, the remake, and then they released Microtransactions after the fact, who do you think would get more flack for that one? EA or Capcom? Well, clearly EA would, because not a lot of people complaining about Capcom doing it with Resident Evil 4 because, well, it's a good game. I like me some good games. Which is kind of funny too, because Yang Yang himself has actually talked about how bullshit it is for a company to release a game, such as Electronic Arts, and then add microtransactions in after the fact. So yes, when I sit here and I say that every gamer makes excuses for the very things that they don't like, the proof is in the motherfucking videos out there. You cannot hold two separate companies to a different standard just because the game was fucking good. That does not absolve them in any way. And this is just something that every individual gamer has to really truly think about and look at. Look at your own demons, your own hypocrisy. I've done it. I've even admitted to it in this video. And this is why the gaming industry is the way that it is today. Because we don't like microtransactions. We don't like day one DLC, pre-order bonus DLC. But here's a caveat for you. How many of these big YouTubers complained when pre-order bonus DLC started to appear in collector's editions? Nobody. The only kind of video I saw was when a more expensive collector's edition didn't come with DLC from another collector's edition of the same game. That's the gaming industry today. That's the type of gamers that will create a video bitching about microtransactions and DLC. Some gamers didn't even talk about it because we've become so complacent to it. We become so used to it. You want to know why Redfall was released in the state that it was released in? Go look in the fucking mirror. I've said from day one, back in the PS3 360 era, that the consoles being connected to the internet, specifically for this update shit, is bad. And now how many games have been released broken? Incomplete. Objectively, every game is released incomplete and broken. There's a reason why day one updates exist, ladies and gentlemen. And if gamers had actually made a stance back in the day and be like, let's not buy any video games, because we're not going to buy these games until they are actually done and complete. But that's not what we did. And we are the direct causation of why Fallout 76 exists, why Redfall exists, Sea of Thieves, No Man's Sky. There was another one. Was it like Anthem? Yeah, Anthem is another one. Those games exist because of our own complacency and excuses for these developers over the years of not having a goddamn backbone and standing up to them. We talk a lot of talk, but we sure as fuck can't walk the walk. You go to any YouTube channel of any person that's ever complained about microtransactions in any facet that they're form of, and they are objectively a part of the problem, because I guarantee you'll find a video, or more than one, where they are then making an excuse for one type or another of a microtransaction, a loot box, whatever the case may be. The video game industry is the way that it is because of us. We've molded it into what it is. I often see people review tech TV, or no, I'm thinking of Quantum TV. You think he'd get insulted by adding TV to it? Anyway, review tech, all right? And he's made a few, not very well researched videos in the sum of physical games versus digital games. But you want to know if a digital only game society does come about, it's going to be because of gamers. It's not going to be because of publishers or developer. Our complacency to it, our acceptance of it, is going to make it the reality. It isn't anything that the publisher or the developers are going to do, because they're just going to look at the statistics and the numbers of what gamers are doing. Well, gamers say they want physical copies, but we're sure selling a lot of digital. Our very complacency, our excuses, enable the publishers and the developers to continue to do stupid shit. Look at Electronic Arts. Electronic Arts is on a motherfucking roller coaster of rinse, repeat. Fuck up, make excuse, apologize. Fuck up, make excuse, apologize. Fuck up, make excuse, apologize. And gamers are just like, yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah. Electronic Arts fixing their shit. But nobody does it better than Hello Games. Yeah, that's another caveat. You making excuses for the smaller developer also enabled the bigger developers to fuck you in the ass. Alright? I said that from the very beginning when the game was released in that state that it was, that people should not be praising them for releasing these free updates because they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar and they're trying to redeem themselves. And it's worked on some of you gamers because you're sucking Sean Murray's dick pretty hard. It's the excuses that we all have made. The complacency that we all have made. Not once with any controversy have we actually won. You might be thinking, oh no, there was that Sim City game with the DRM. Yeah, Mortal Kombat, the newest game, has DRM in it. How many of these big-ass YouTubers bitched and complained enough to where NetherRealms and Warner Brothers reversed that? Because to my knowledge, it still exists in that game. In fact, Angry Joe, big hypocrite when it comes to Mortal Kombat, he barely even brushed on the microtransactions or the DRM in that game. Because he had some kind of deal to do. I don't even know what happened to that deal. Board game or some shit like that. Gamers making excuses in one facet or another. This is like me. I either accept the fact that as an artist, I want other people to be able to share complete art, to receive complete art as an artist myself. Or I'm going to be a fucking hypocrite like everybody else. Because whether you occasionally use this download code, even though it's free, all right, I didn't pay for it, it's free, man. You're still using it. You're using the very thing that you're bitching about. The only difference is it's free versus paid. Well, it's in a collector's edition, man. Yeah, I had that same sentiment. My head was shoved up my ass. I decided to pull it out, all right? Try and keep up, ladies and gentlemen. So to end this video, because it's gone on longer than it should, and there was actually more than this within of itself, the simplest iteration is, as I've stated in this video before, is that the gaming industry is the way it is because of us. Our lack of inaction in doing things, our lack of commitment in doing things. We have no problem talking about things that we don't like. But when it comes to certain aspects of those things we don't like, we make excuses for those aspects, which then makes excuses for the shit that we don't like in general. You know, there is objectively no difference between a $5 microtransaction and a $100 microtransaction. The fact that one is overpriced more than the other, and you ultimately feel that way, is irrelevant, because you either don't like any of it, or you're just a hypocrite. Objectively. You either want your game to be complete or you don't. Gamers at the end of the day need to stop sidestepping. They need to stop making excuses. If you do YouTube videos, go and look at your old videos. See how many fucking excuses you have made throughout the years. And I definitely could name a few of you. I've come to admit my own demons within this video, my own hypocrisy within this video, and I, like many other gamers, in the direct causation for why gaming is today. It's about time that gamers learn that there's more than just talking. Maybe it's time we actually shut up and started walking.